Go ahead and say your name.
Okay. My name is Sal Garcia.
Okay. And you're my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about yourself. Where were you born and raised?
I was born here in Tucson, Arizona. Raised here all my life up until I was 18 years old.
Okay. And you're visiting your parents?
I'm
Okay.
visiting my parents here from Copenhagen, Denmark.
Okay. And how long have you lived in Copenhagen?
Since 98.
Okay. Is it Copenhagen or Copenhagen?
Copenhagen, however you want to pronounce it.
Okay.
I say Copenhagen.
Okay. So now you've lived there since 98. How do you like it living there?
I like it a lot.
Okay.
There's a little adjustment you have to, of course, from Europe to America, but I like it a lot.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Okay, so when you were growing up in Tucson, did you ever think about living in
No, I
a
always
place
thought about coming back to the States.
Okay. And now how likely would it be that you'd come back to the States ever?
Not very likely at all.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about, okay, so you're now living in a Democratic Socialist country, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about that. Tell me what it is about that. Is that what's keeping you over there in Denmark? Besides your kids, I know you have your family there, but besides, if you didn't have your family there, would you still stay there?
No.
No?
If I would still stay in Denmark?
Yes.
Yeah, I probably would. I would stay in Europe.
You'd stay in
Europe. Not necessarily Denmark maybe.
Okay.
And that's the only reason for that is because of the weather.
Yeah, yeah.
But otherwise, I would probably stay in Europe.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the change in your life being like working there versus working here. So what is it that you like best about the Democratic Socialist? Well, first of all, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, I went to, let's see how it is. I moved to Switzerland when I was 18, and I got my degree as a professional waiter or in restaurant management. And then from there on, I worked a bit in ski resorts in Switzerland. Got a job on a cruise ship where I met my wife at that time. She was Danish. We met there, and we moved to Denmark, and we started living there, and then we had our kids, and bought our home there, and started raising our kids.
Okay.
And it's a great place to have kids. That's one other reason why I'm actually glad that I have my children living there and actually growing up in Denmark.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about. So you work in the restaurant business over there, and what's a typical work week like? How many hours a week do you work?
37 hours a week.
Okay, and if you have to work more, what happens?
They'll redeem your hours, or they'll pay you out time and a half for your overtime.
When do they do that?
Every month.
At the end of the month.
At
okay.
the end of the month, yeah.
Now, how much do you pay in taxes there?
Around 48%.
Okay, but you get deductions, right?
You get deductions on all your loans, car loans, house loans,
Student loans.
student loans, but you don't have student loans. You don't have student loans. All universities, all schooling is for free.
Okay, and healthcare.
Healthcare is for free.
Okay, and what else do you get to deduct? Child support.
Child support deductions, union deductions. You pay to your union, you get that deducted. You have the miles that you drive to work outside of 20 kilometers are also deductible.
Wow.
So if you work out of the city or 20 every mile or every kilometer after 20 kilometers that you drive back and forth to work, you get deducted as well.
Okay. And what about childcare? Does that government subsidized, or do you get to deduct that? How does that work?
It's free.
It's free?
Yeah.
From the time they're born?
From the time they're born, let me see. Kindergarten, daycare, it's deductible at a certain point. So you do pay for up until grade school.
So you pay for childcare, but you get to deduct that.
Yeah, you get to deduct it.
Okay, and then your wife, when she was pregnant, did she get paid?
Yeah. There's maternity leave, so you get 80% of your salary. And most companies pay the 20%.
And what's the length of time?
12 months.
12 months, and And is that per child or is that per parent?
That's per child.
Okay.
Yeah, per child, yeah.
So you can split up between you, the mother and the
12
father.
months, so you could split however you like. 3 months will go however you like. 6 months, whatever.
Between the parents?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what about when Louisa was in school? Your wife was in school.
Yeah.
Did she get paid for that?
Yeah.
So she got a small salary?
You get about $1,000, a little bit over $1,000 a month to go to school.
Okay. Now, we were talking about, have you ever, now there's a lot of like benefits there that people can just like go and milk the system. And we were talking about that earlier. Yeah. And tell me a little bit about that.
The like what kind of,
so people, would you
like
ever, have you ever considered like just quitting and
No, because you do get help from the government, but it's not something that you would like to. The standard of living, if you're trying to milk off the government, is not that great.
Yeah.
It's basically just covers your food costs and maybe your apartment. A very cheap apartment, maybe in a really not so good part of the city or something like that. So. Right.
And and what's your standard of living like?
It's nice. It's good. It's a good standard of living.
Yeah.
I have a nice apartment. I have a brand new car. I'm paying off. I have 3 kids. I'm supporting, paying alimony, and go on vacation. So it's a good deal.
Talk about vacation. How much vacation do you get each year?
You get 5 weeks. 5 weeks every year.
Is that paid?
That's paid. Yeah.
And who pays it? Your employer or the government, or is it?
There's different. Depends on what kind of contract you get, but talking about myself, I pay 13.5% out of my paycheck every month, which I get saved up and will get paid out every year in May.
Okay.
For that summer vacation.
I see. So
that will be $2,000 more than my monthly salary.
Yeah.
That I would get paid out for vacation.
Right. So, and if you wanted to forego vacation and keep that money, could you do that?
I could. I've done it before because sometimes 5 weeks is a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I can't use it all. I don't have enough time to use it all.
Right.
Which is good. Another thing is if I work on holidays, on Easter holidays, Christmas holidays, if I work on those holiday days, I get paid 2 days back.
Wow. That you could take either as vacation or get cash.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And now the vacations. Talk about a little bit about what it's like to raise. You were talking like you're glad you raised your kids there.
Yeah.
Do you have time for your kids, or you know what I mean?
I do. My job, or the jobs that I've had in Denmark, I can't speak for every job there, but I have a really good job where they really want you to be happy at your work and happy with your private life.
Right.
So that's a big thing that comes up on your evaluation interviews. They will ask you how it's going at work, how is your family, work balance.
Yes.
And they strive to help you out and try to balance that out.
So that's that's part of the business model, their business model.
Yeah. It is.
The government doesn't make them do that. That's the company themselves.
The companies, the big companies, or even it's pretty small company that I work for, and they strive for it.
Okay.
Because in my restaurant business, the unions are very strong in Denmark, so they have negotiations with contracts for workers or for employers, and which they agree upon, and those are written.
Okay.
And they are usually followed.
And is your company pretty profitable that you work for?
Yeah, they do.
They're very strong, very solid.
I work for small luxury hotels of the world. It's not a chain, but it's a group.
Yeah.
There's we have a good pension, good pension plan, and good management. Really good.
So, if you were money oriented and money driven, could you forego some of the vacation? Are there opportunities for you to do nothing but work it, and would you make a lot more money?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now we talked a little bit. You said the tax rate was 40%. 8%. What is your net? But you could get these deductions. So net, what is your net
At
tax
the moment,
rate?
I believe it's around 43%.
Okay, so about 43% of your money goes to taxes, and what's covered with that? Let me get this. Let's talk about the health care, because health care is covered, but it's not single payer, is it? Or is it? Is it single payer? Single payer meaning like the government pays for everything and you can go and then you don't pay a dime. Didn't you tell me at one point that you have a choice of having private insurance too?
Yeah, there's government health insurance that covers the whole country, no matter what.
Right.
And then you can also opt for a private insurance where you pay a certain amount of money a month, where you can, let's say, if you can go to private hospitals.
Got it. And you could,
private hospitals, private doctors, just nicer stay.
Okay. So you can bump it up if you need.
Faster
treatment. But everybody has the bare minimum of. And so do you opt for the private or do you do the public?
I could, but I'm fine with. I mean,
with the public.
I'm fine with the public. I'm satisfied with the public.
Okay, so tell me. Let's talk a little bit about that. Do you have wait times for the public?
Yeah, I mean, you have wait times. Just probably like here in the U.S. You have a waiting room and you wait. You have. Let me see. You have your.
But you can make an appointment with the doctor.
I can make an appointment with my doctor, yeah. And every week, Monday through Friday, they're open. So you got, like, on Mondays from 8 to 8:30 is consultation where you go in if you're sick or whatever. You need to see the doctor for colds or whatever, you're not feeling good. You go in there, you register, you slide your Social Security card through, and you wait in line, and they call you up, and you go see your doctor.
Okay.
And he, talks to you and sends you to the pharmacy, and you get your stuff.
Right.
On Wednesday, the whole day is for appointments. If you need to make appointments for checkup or whatever, you go on Wednesdays. On the weekends, when they're closed, they have what they call doctor on call, where they have hospitals where there's a doctor where you can see if you're sick on the weekends. And the waiting line is probably a little bit longer because it's on the weekends. Yeah. But you have an opportunity to see a doctor.
Okay, so if let's say you woke up one morning not feeling too good, and you needed to go to the doctor. Yeah. How long would it take between the time that you wake up and would you make a phone call or would you just show up?
Yeah, you make a phone call right away if you're not feeling good. Make a phone call. They ask you what's going on, what's your problem, and you say, you're not feeling so good. And then you go. Right. Now, if you're so sick that you can't make it to the doctor's office, they will send a doctor over.
Okay. Okay, and then, but how long would it take for you to get into the doctor? You'd get in within a few hours, right?
Yeah.
And then once you get to the doctor's office, it's like a regular, like in the United States?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.